Welcome everyone. This is RPG Grizzly one RPG Grizzly
RPU.
RPU. Anyway, this is Robin P Grizzly here to bring you on another guided trip into the cosmos, into the wild blue yonder, into the last frontier,
Ass.
the Ast frontier.
The ass front.
Have you ever wondered why ass is so close to year in Spanish? Año. Año. My, yes. Once my father said that I had 5 assholes.
I thought it was 7 assholes.
It was 7 assholes?
It was 7 as a whole.
To a Spanish
it was
person,
a holy ass.
he was
Oh,
he was trying to tell a taxi driver in Spanish that I was 7 years old. But instead he said I had 7 assholes. I have yet to find the other 6.
Drink it.
Anyway, hello gentlemen. I hope one of these days we're gonna nail the intro properly. Maybe we'll even record it properly. Did I just say properly twice in a row?
Properly speaking,
Probably.
yes.
This is what happens when I record a video after working hours upon hours of my life away. Anyway, we're gonna have a little fun. We're gonna have a little my wife's laughing at. Yep. You have no idea what my wife's laughing at, and you don't want to know. Some things are better not said. It's terrifying. Anyway. Quoi? I know what you're thinking.
I know.
Yeah. She's thinking about years, not butts. Anyway.
How do you say how to butt in Spanish?
Speaking of spaceship butts, the Liberator has quite a fine ass. You know, looking at it, it has like a folding ass. It's up so you can see the garage. It's like those old-timey underwear things, you know, the flap opens up.
Oh.
Except things.
So you could go poop?
I mean, I guess if you drive the ships and the vehicles out that way, it's technically pooping.
That's gay.
Alright, there's a rule, guys.
That's
you can't
gay.
drive in that way. You can only drive out that way.
Because it's an exit.
Otherwise, it's gay.
Because it's an exit.
This has gone down a direction I was not expecting. And it's all because of my dad and his failure at speaking Spanish.
Because Spanish is gay.
Gay. At least it's not French, everyone says. So, you know what's funny about that? There's actually a fairly large-sized French community who play Star Citizen. I wonder if...
Because their head was so...
Hey, look, at least we didn't make an asshole joke about your French. It was about the Spaniards. Thank you. That was my son. Being very steadfast in his ability to fight going to sleep. Hmm? Yeah, he just smiled at me, the punk. Yeah, I will get to topic. It's only a 3-minute video. Calm down. Oh, Lord. Anyway, I've been drawn back into making yet another Liberator video. Our pimping Corgi must be returned to. Yeah, in 1 week, 3 times. Poor dogs being overworked. Anyway, because they released a Q&A and some crazy shenanigans went down. What? You distracted me. Sorry, my son distracted me. And the meat of the matter, a couple of interesting things came up. First and foremost, they were very, very insistent on basically saying, this is not a capital ship, it's a large ship.
A large ship?
It's a large... You know, even though Connies are technically large ships and one could practically fit on top of the 2 pads on top. But, you know...
Lily pads!
Lily pads!
Leapfrog.
Yes. Basically, it's funny how CIG forget that, you know, measurements and size matters, as more than one Asian has said in bed. But that joke. My wife is staring at me in utter shock right now.
I said I had a dirty mind.
Dirty mind?
I mean,
whoa. Measurements. Okay.
Size matters.
Yeah.
You said that.
I did.
Me.
Maybe they were talking about the beds. How many cubits long was their bed, wife?
Cupid's long.
Cubits. The Rick goes, what the poop is a cubit? Cubit. Well, if you read the Bible, every time they measure giants.
All the way to the elbow.
Yeah, it's like, what was it, 3 feet, 2 feet? It's almost 3 feet.
3 feet. Your baby's 3 feet long? That long? No. No.
It's like 2.5 feet.
This is almost 3 feet wide.
So I know you came on this video to hear about cubits.
Sure, get the tape measure.
Yeah, tape it out. It's a
That's 3 by 3 by 3. 3 by 3.
3 by 3 by 3. Wife doesn't know what she's talking about. Anyway, every time they're making wild measurements in the Bible, they use cubits. That's your fact of the day. When they measured giants, they'd go, he was so many cubits tall. Yeah? So,
if I have a hiccup and a burp together,
I will mock it.
Liberator Corgi.
It's a pimping corgi to you, thank you very much. So then
That corgi thinks he's special.
at first,
He's a special corgi.
this is gonna be a long video, isn't it? Every time I try to talk. Anyway, you may think
right.
you're a butt. You may
What?
You're a butt.
Oh.
What did you think? These videos are far more chaotic than even I thought they would be. It's my late night thoughts. Run away. First leave a like, then run away.
Press like.
Yeah. Woo. Now run. Yeah. So, I will get to, I'm getting to the point. I'm getting to the point.
The puente es.
Le puente. Años. Oh, Lord. So, speaking of butts, the Pimping Corgi. You may think that has dashed my plans for the Pimping Corgi because it can't refuel. And at first, I was a little annoyed, but because, taking away the refueling option. She's making that noise at my son, not you guys, don't worry. Anyway, you would think that kind of ruins its role as a carrier, and they're like, oh, it's a transport ship. It just transports. It has pads, but unlike every other pad in the game, it can't refuel. 'Cause reasons.
Adding up the prices.
Like every other ship in the game, I guess that's like the 890 and the Carrack, not the Kraken, the Carrack. Currently in the game that has the vehicle bays and stuff can refuel the ship in the bay. So
bay.
Yeah, and all the pads. To be fair, so it's kind of a weird thing. We're arbitrarily going to say that you can't put fuel in the ships, even though every other pad can, because reasons. Baywatch, yeah. But they did say, and they were right, and I realized this, you can refuel it, do basic repair and rearmament by hand with because if you don't know, in Star Citizen they're actually going to make it so everything's physicalized, which means the guns on the ships are physicalized. You can repair your ships by hand and all this other stuff. You'll need higher Yeah, actually, yes, you will have to do that. Like, your ships will get dirty after a while.
So you have to vacuum wash them.
Yeah, you do have to wash it. We will literally be polishing a Pimping Corgi. I will.
Butt right there.
Yeah, I will take video of you washing its butt and laugh at you the whole time. You guys should have seen the weird look she just made as she awkwardly made the wax on, wax off motion. Oh. Oh man. So in the end I realized everything I said in my last video still applies, because you can still land the ships and fuel it. It'll just take a little longer, but it'll still be faster than trying to refuel 3 ships by slowly hooking up It's very sexual. But hooking up with the fueling ship, right? One at a time. It'd be much faster
I
to
hope
land
it's
on.
one at a time for their sake.
There's only one tube nozzle, so. In this case, you. Whoa, I'm not gonna say that. You guys will just have to use your imagination of what I almost said. So, in this case, though,
I told you that
you
game is called Star Citizen because that's how more citizens are made.
My wife just made a sex joke.
Oh, this is sexualized, don't you know?
All of it's sexual. Especially the parts that aren't. So, the advantage is still there because you can land the ships on the pad, and you could even have the pilots hop out and refuel it, and then while you're in quantum travel. I assume, unless they do something really weird and say you can't be on the pads during quantum travel, but I don't think that makes much sense. I wish someone had asked questions about that. We'll have to find out, but I assume, and I think this is a good assumption, that the
Famous last words.
that the shield or whatever physics nonsense they're going with is going to say that while you're in quantum travel, you can walk on the pads and most of the ship and be fine. And so you can land the ships. The rest of the fleet can go in the quantum, including the Liberator, and you can refuel the ship as you fly. Something you can't do with the Starfarer? The gas ship. The floating gas station with the weird tubey tube. Wife gave me a weird look again. I don't think I'm being that creepy. Holy cow. It's a tube. It's a pipe that gives gas.
I know what pipe.
You know what? Hey, my
gas.
wife knows what tubes and gas are. So,
It's called a cigarette. Just kidding.
the point is, though this is an annoying extra step, I actually kind of like it. Now, I don't actually... Okay, let me rephrase here. Personally, it'll be fun to actually have to have a deck crew that can refuel and rearm the ships. And it'll take up SCU, but they already said that you can put cargo on the pads, which means you could probably put cargo in the garages.
Cargo pad.
And if you look in a lot of their... what's the term? Their concept art, they actually do put cargo on the edges of the pads if you look closely, not at the pads, in the garages. So, I mean, right off the bat, that raises an extra question of just how much cargo you could stuff in this thing. Will it be able to fly off? How much junk you got in that trunk, as they say. Will you be able to fly down? Will you be able to fly down to a planet? Like, can you fly in Atmo? Probably not. I'm sure if you filled everything with cargo, like every single square inch, you would only be able to fly in space, and there'd be trouble stopping because physics. You hear that squeak? Anyway, that's my wife rocking my son in bed. I'm gonna wake up. There's just gonna be.
I swear, it is the couch.
Every time I think of the Pimping Corgi breaking in space.
Rough landing.
Yes. Anyway, so fun thoughts. Oh my lord. So continuing on, everything I was worried that I was gonna have to discount everything I said in my Pimping Corgi video, as I'm gonna call it. But
so
as
this is Pimping Corgi 2.0.
yeah, but as it turns out, no, it just means you're gonna have to do it by hand, which kind of adds some extra gameplay. Because if you're a pretty decent org, you could have this thing about how fast can you refuel and rearm the spaceships.
Look, this is not a contest.
No, it's very much a contest. And on the flip side, you could do almost like a self-service thing where you...
Oh, that's what they call it these days.
Whoa. Anyway, a self-service there where you have some fuel containers on the edges of the pads, and when the pilots land, they can refuel the ships themselves. Yeah. Because apparently there's also a tractor beam on this thing. So not only can it kidnap people, it can...
Wow, that is a
It's a Pimping Corgi. Look, you will land on this ship. I'm sure there's ways to stop it, but, you know. I can just dream of kidnapping some poor new guy who just spawned in his ship and just plopping him and quantuming away somewhere. Just sounds rude. I'm not gonna troll people. Don't be like that.
Says the guy with the Pimping Corgi.
Shh. It is quite ridiculous.
You just need a dancing corgi butt.
Just the corgi. Oh lord, oh lord.
If
They did say they wanted to make it so you could paint your own ships with your own designs.
The corgi didn't have the. It's like a GIF.
Oh god.
Of a corgi butt dancing.
It's terrifying. Never again. Never again will I have you help me name a ship.
I know.
I feel like I had more to say in this video, but now all I can think of is butts. Thank you, wife.
You shake that booty.
Oh, okay, I had more to say. Now, despite this annoying step that's going to increase the amount of people you need on your ship to do this sort of operation rapidly, I wouldn't be too worried about it. Because the ironic thing about this Q&A...
Don't fear the corgi.
Yeah, don't fear the corgi. The ironic thing about this Q&A is it shows how fluid these Q&As are and how they often change. Because usually, right, they'll answer some questions, the community will go, that's stupid, why is that like that? And they'll say, oh, but these are these reasons, and they'll say, yeah, but that's stupid according to the physics you made in the game, or blah, 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 and it goes back and forth, or this isn't too big, this... Someone actually lost. And the point is, oftentimes, after the Q&A, after the initial clarification, enough stink is made that the ships are changed. And you say, well, how does this Q&A show this? Well, if you look at one of the questions that are answered, it says that the shield raises a couple meters over the pads, which means the shields of the Liberator will protect the fighters. The Pimping Corgi will protect its fighters on its back. But it also said that that's going to be standard.
Now I'm imagining a space cowboy when you said that.
Perfect.
Riding on its back.
Perfect. Now, I'm going to finish. Adios! Sleeping children. And I think he's done with that. Gosh, these videos are so ridiculous to make. Anyway, if you notice, they said that this is going to be standard for all carriers with pads on them in the future. Or, excuse me, transport ships with pads. Yes, I'm just going to go up to the USS Yorktown and say, you're just a transport for planes. Like, yeah. And?
You wish you were a space cowboy.
Anyway, so what's interesting about this is during the Q&A for the Kraken, they said that the shields of the ship, the big capital ship, would not cover the fighters on the pad. And now they've just retroactively changed that with this Q&A with the Liberator saying that the shields will now cover the pad. I find that hilarious because that was the big stink about the Kraken. Now the big stink about the Liberator is it can't refuel ships on its own and you have to do it by hand. Making me wonder how long before the Liberator will be able to refuel. And even if it doesn't, you can still do it by hand, and you'll still have to rearm and repair it by hand. Which, yes. It doesn't bother me half as much as it did the first time I heard it, because I'm like thinking that'll be a lot of fun, having to go through the added gameplay of fixing the ship yourself and refueling it yourself. Don't know exactly how that will work. But clearly they plan on making gameplay associated with it. Will be as simple as bringing the tank close enough and then putting a hose into it.
What about a hoe?
What about a hoe? Plugging a hoe into the spaceship? I don't know. It'd be an interesting thing to see. But anyway, that's the point of this video. Don't get too worked up about QAs unless you want something in that question to answer to change. Then get worked up, I guess. Just be respectful, guys. This is a video game, for crying out loud. I know sometimes it's easy to forget, but it's a video game, guys.
You're not wearing a virtual reality helmet.
Actually, some of them are.
Well, get a life.
Whoa.
I'm joking.
feel like she insulted me when she said it.
No,
No,
clearly
of
not.
course
I
not.
like the Pimping Corgi. Hilarious.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm saying make your voice heard. Do it in a respectful fashion. And just let them know that you are serious about this, and they probably will change it. Think of it. In the Q&A itself, they already
Squeaky
changed.
wheel gets the grease.
Yes, they already changed aspects. Anyo specs of.
Stop inspecting that onions.
Oh my gosh, of the original concept that they revealed to us. Now you say, oh, they were just clarifying it. No, they called it a light carrier. They called it a capital ship, and it really is a sub-capital ship. It's like a not a Polaris, but you get the point. It's
Bipolar.
something comparable to a Polaris, a Perseus, a Carrack. Probably even a Banu merchantman, but obviously it's much smaller than a Banu merchantman. Much smaller. And more blocky and square. With more corgis. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't get too worked up. Get worked up enough to get them to change it in a respectful fashion. But also, even if they don't change it, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, you can even argue it gives Liberator crews and guys who want to run Liberators a way to distinguish themselves as more skilled, being able to repair and rearm and refuel ships rapidly on their own. And, throw ships out in the middle of space while they're quantum traveling for the fun of it. Yeah, but if the guy's being annoying and
Rude.
Rude. So yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for coming by, guys. Do the like, do the subscribe.
And look for that corgi.
Yeah, share. Oh, and comment. I like comments. Respectful comments. I will warn you now, if you're a weird jerk, I'm not in the mood for jerks. So, you've been warned. No jerking here. Don't jerk off, guys. It's not good for your productivity. In more ways than one. Ah!
That joke, ahoy!
Oh, comment, like, share, subscribe.
Especially for the joke.
Yes. Especially the red button. It says describe. Describe? No, it says subscribe. Yeah, this is...
Brain fart.
You know what? This is the Grizzly signing out. Catch you guys later.